So what's up guys, Ghost here, and today I'm going to be going over the worst and the most underpowered weapons in every single Call of Duty game from Call of Duty 4 until now with Black Ops 4. So I did a video just like this 2 years ago, however it was the exact opposite where I covered the best and the most overpowered guns in every Call of Duty game. If you guys missed that video, I'll link it down below in the description. It's a pretty old one from 2 years ago, surprisingly, but we're doing that opposite. We're doing the worst guns. So I'm going to be showing you guys all what I personally think are the worst guns in every COD, because every single Call of Duty game has that one weapon or those set of guns that are just so bad compared to the rest that don't get any love because they're bad, you know. So that's what we're gonna do for today's video, and I want you guys to comment down below right now the worst guns in every COD from COD 4 till now. Make that list because I'm curious to see what your opinions are compared to mine, because obviously I'm gonna show you guys all my list here with this whole entire video. So before we get started, if you guys didn't know, over 80% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed, so check if subscribe right now. If you aren't, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for more multi-COD content just like this here. So let's get started guys with COD 4. I say the worst guns in Call of Duty 4 are going to be the mini Uzi and the MP44. But first let's talk about the Uzi, because this is definitely the worst SMG in the game. You're better off using the AK-74U and the P90 and also the MP5, because those are objectively better SMGs than the mini Uzi. The mini Uzi does have the fastest fire rate though out of every SMG in COD 4. However, that in turn makes it a very high recoil weapon, so you're gonna be missing your shots more often than not, and you're not gonna be hitting every shot every single time. That's why the time to kill wouldn't be as fast. But unless you have godly accuracy, then yeah, it could be pretty good. But still, why use this when you have the AK-74U and you have the MP5 that are way better, and the P92? And speaking of pretty bad, we have the MP44, which is the worst assault rifle I say in the game. It does have very high damage, just like the AK-47, and it can two-shot across the map with stopping power. However, the recoil definitely destroys this weapon. You know, if the AK-47 is basically the same in terms of damage, then why not use that? You're basically putting yourself at a disadvantage when you use the MP44 and the Uzi as well. So that's why I say those are the worst guns in COD 4, because there's far better compared to those two. Next game is World at War, and honestly, I couldn't really figure out or find the worst gun in this game, because for one, I didn't play this game all too much back in the prime, and the guns in this game aren't actually that bad. They're all very good for what they are. But I would say the Mosin Nagant is the worst gun, because just off of experience, I've gotten way too many hit markers with this thing here, and it was a bad experience going to World at War and using it. But that's what I think though. Maybe I could be wrong. I also heard that the trench gun is a pretty bad shotgun. It's the worst gun in the game, but I was not doing too bad with it, and I was getting consistent one-hit kills. But I'd say the Mosin Nagant is definitely not the greatest, especially if the enemies have Juggernaut. But the next COD here we have is going to be Modern Warfare 2, and we have the F2000. This gun has hideous iron sights, and the recoil is definitely extremely high on this gun here, because it does have a very fast fire rate, and yeah, because of that fire rate, it can melt pretty fast. However, every gun in this game melts extremely fast because of stopping power. Yeah, this gun can melt, but there's way better to use, and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage using the F2000 when there's guns like the ACR and the FAMAS. The next bad gun in this game is going to be the TMP, and it's only because the other machine pistols are way better, and also the pistols in general are better, because for one, this gun has no ammo, literally no ammo, and sometimes it just takes way too many shots to kill. I feel like for it being a full auto SMG, I mean a pistol, as you guys just saw, he just ate my boys and knifed my face off for no reason right there. I was triggered as hell. So the TMP underpowered, and same with the F2000. Worst guns in my opinion from Modern Warfare 2, without a doubt, bro. Next COD here we have is Black Ops 1, and the worst guns in Black Ops 1 are by far the PM63 and the mini Uzi SMG. But I say comparing those two together, out of those two, the PM63 is the worst gun in this whole entire game. Don't even at me, man. For one, this gun has barely any ammo for an SMG. It has 20, has a very fast fire rate, so it's going to be running through the ammo quick, and you have to reload after every single kill. For two, the iron sights are definitely very bad, especially when you fire it. It's hard to aim because it just looks weird when you fire it, and it's just extremely hard. Also, number three, it has some terrible damage compared to the 74U and the MP5. And for four, the recoil is absolutely trash. It's so inconsistent. Even up close, if you try to burst it, it's still going to find a way to screw you up. It's just terrible, man. The Mini Uzi, on the other hand, as well, is kind of a similar story here. Aside from the fact that it does have a lot of ammo, it does shoot pretty fast, but the recoil just ultimately screws you up, and the iron sights are garbage on this thing, and it's pretty difficult to use because of that. So Black Ops 1 as a whole has some pretty terrible SMGs, in my opinion at least. AK-74U is where it's at, and that's what you should only use. On to Modern Warfare 3, I don't necessarily think these two guns I'm going to say are the worst guns in MW3, which are the AA-12 and the MP412. These guns are pretty good, honestly, but I say they're kind of underpowered compared to the other shotguns and the other pistols, right? As I'm going to keep saying over and over again throughout this whole entire video, there's definitely way better guns than these two here, but they're not, you know, trash. They're not hot garbage at all. They can definitely do and put in some work for what they can do, but the Striker is a better shotgun than the AA-12, and the SPAS-12 can be too, and so on and so forth. And for the pistol here, the MP412, it's a pretty okay one, but I don't think it's the best one at all necessarily. And as a whole, if you want to use a pistol, don't use any pistol in the game. Use the machine pistols, use the FMG9s. But if I would have to pick two guns though as a whole to say, oh, these guns are the worst, I would definitely choose those two, MP412 and the AA-12. Next game is Black Ops 2, and obviously we have the crossbow. The crossbow by far is definitely one of the worst guns here in BO2 because I just don't think it has a place in this game. I know it's Treyarch and they've had a crossbow in BO1, and there's a crossbow in this game, and then there's an NX Shadowclaw in BO3. It's just not practical to use in Black Ops 2 when you have guns melting you left and right, when you could be just having fun and actually doing very good with the A94 or the MSMC or whatever it happens to be, you know? If you want to screw around and have fun, yeah, use a crossbow, but it's just not the greatest at all. Executioner, I say, is definitely up there, being one of the worst pistols in Call of Duty history. You know, if you do play the map right, yes, it can be decent, but why? Why would you want to go out of your way and rage using the Executioner? I know there's gods with this gun out there, but I just don't see it fit. It's one of the worst guns in my opinion in Black Ops 2. Next up with the Call of Duty Ghost, we have two pistols. We have the MP443 Glock and the PDW. I say those are the worst weapons in this game. Granted, yes, they're pistols, but I say there is no bad assault rifle. I say there is no bad LMG, sniper, or marksman rifle in the game. They're all okay and they're all great for what they can do. They are, because COD Ghost has some powerful guns in the game that melt you so freaking fast that it's insane, like MW2. But if I were to pick two guns that I absolutely hate and that I know are definitely underpowered and not the greatest, those go to the MP443 Glock and the PDW. PDW is a 3-round burst machine pistol, and they have made a version which you get at Prestige 10, which is a full auto golden PDW. That's way better than this here. Just why? Don't even bother with the PW. And then in the Glock pistol, it's a fast firing pistol if you have a good trigger finger, but it just doesn't compete and has no place in the game, in my opinion at least. So next Call of Duty game here we have is going to be Advanced Warfare. And the worst guns, again, we do have the MP443 Glock pistol, but this time it's actually a 2-round burst pistol. What? Why did the developers think a 2-round burst pistol would suffice to be even close being a remotely usable gun in a Call of Duty game? Don't get me wrong, off of using this in this gameplay, it looks like it destroys and shreds. Up close, it can 1 burst. It can 2-shot up close, yes. However, comparing the guns in this game, like the Battle 27 Obsidian Seed, the HBR3 Insanity, and the overpowered variants that are in this game to this little tiny pistol, it's just trash. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know why this thing even exists here in this game. And same with this, I can't. I actually can't with this crossbow. This is the worst gun in Call of Duty history. The worst weapon you'll ever see grace a Call of Duty game. And I want to make a separate video on its own covering this gun here. It's a crossbow, right? But out of all the crossbows that have been in any COD, this is the most trashiest thing that's ever made an appearance in any COD. I can't stress that enough. Like, I'm just laughing right now because of how bad this gun is. Go to Advanced Warfare after this video, put this on a class setup, use it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Try to hit your shots with it, it's impossible. Like, it's so hard to hit your shots with this thing here, and this thing has no blast radius. It's trash. Next gun here we have in the next COD is going to be Black Ops 3 with the Dragoon Sniper Rifle. This is the worst gun, I say, in the game. And the next weapon we have is not necessarily a gun. It's something weird. You'll see, but this is a pretty bad sniper rifle. It shoots slow as hell. It just gets hit markers for me for the most part, and it reloads hella slow, even with fast mags. And even with rapid fire, it shoots slow as hell too. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you use the Dragoon. The next weapon is the D13 Specter. It's the pizza slicer weapon here, and it's obviously not supposed to be practical or serious like how the VMP is and the MSMC and so on and so forth. It's just a parody screwing around a weapon, but it's still not remotely viable. It can be fun to use in Safeguard, but man, as a whole, you don't want to be using this, and I say those two guns are the worst weapons in Black Ops 3. Next up on Infinite Warfare, we do have the Venom X, which is a special weapon that was first brought into extinction in Call of Duty Ghosts, and it's made its way into the multiplayer of Infinite Warfare and also the zombies of IW. And in the multiplayer, it has no place at all whatsoever. It's just frustrating to use, and I just don't see why a human being would go out of their way to put this on their class setup and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Infinite Warfare, I'm gonna be playing with the Venom X here, having fun. There is no fun in using this gun at all. Trust me, it's only pain and suffering. So do not, I repeat, do not go to this game and use it at all whatsoever. You're gonna be getting frustrated because it gets hit markers, and I just don't see any use for it in the game at all whatsoever. So let's go to World War II, and the worst gun in World War II is by far the sawed-off shotgun. This gun was actually once worse than it is right now. If you go to World War II, use it, and you're like, wow, you're right, Ghost, this thing is absolutely trash, bro. It was even worse when the game first came out, because months down the road, they did buff it to make it somewhat manageable. Keyword somewhat. It's trash. Don't even bother with this when you have the combat shotgun, which is objectively better. You have the blunderbuss, which even though it takes 17 years to reload the blunderbuss and it's a one-shot shotgun, it's way better than this piece of heap of trash and puke in this game. Don't use it, please. Don't go to War II and use the sawed-off shotgun. You know the pain and suffering with that weapon if you've used it in War II. So the next gun here, the final weapon in Black Ops 4, is going to be the RK7. I think the RK7 is a mediocre pistol, but like comparing this gun to the assault rifles and the other pistols in the game, and overall just as a whole, it's pretty weak, and I don't necessarily think it's bad. As you can see, I'm definitely mapping people and I'm using it correctly and I'm doing very good with it, but if I had to choose one gun out of the entire game to be the worst quote-unquote gun in the game, I would say it's the RK7, most definitely. They've buffed it, and whatnot used to be much worse than it kind of is, but still, it's mediocre, and I would just say, yeah, this is the worst gun if I had to choose one. Let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts about my whole entire list here going from every COD from COD 4 until now with Black Ops 4. Also, keep in mind that this whole entire video is my opinion. I know there's gonna be tons of keyboard warriors down below in the comment section saying, oh, what do you mean the F2000 is actually the best gun in MW2, or just whatever it happens to be. It's just my opinion here on every gun in every Call of Duty game pretty much. So hope you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. Let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts about all this here. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.